I'm your host of Modern Mythos, Kiro Sterna.
And I'm your co-host, Ace Rags Rag Hilda. And as you've seen us in our last video, we bring you the strangest in urban legends, creepypastas, memes, and anything else from the internet that has spawned legends and modern mythology. Modern mythology is what we're all about. Last episode we brought you was about Slenderman. And this is going to be the general discussion episode of Slenderman. We're going to bring up items that we didn't get a chance to bring up in the first episode due to time constraints because we are attempting to keep this all under 10 minutes or around 10-12 minute mark for each episode. I am serving as the scriptwriter and editor of the series as well. Now, bro, was there anything that you missed in the first episode that you wanted to add that we didn't have time to do?
Can't really think of much, but I know that creepypasta, if we can find what this thing here is. Take a look. For some of the gamers out there, the Enderman from Minecraft is inspired by Slenderman. And it's really crazy if you think of it. So I'm not sure when the Slenderman creepypasta started.
Yep, and from there, of course, the whole meme began, and the meme turned into creepypastas. The creepypastas turned into urban legend, and of course, we had the sad cases of the Wisconsin stabbings with Morgan Geyser and Anissa Ware attacking Peyton Leitner.
Yeah, that entire thing was just a shock, So these kids, they're kids, but still, it was something that should have been obviously fake, but in their mind they thought it was real, which makes no sense if you ask me, but again, they were kids, and I have no idea why would they want a piece of Slenderman, say for, being promised riches, which I don't even know where the origin of that even came from. I don't think they even came from anything,
It's
just something they said.
well, the riches I don't know. The part
Yeah,
I
I don't
know
understand
is,
where they got the riches part.
but the proxy part was introduced by Marble Hornet's entry series, which is series based off the Slenderman stories. It's not a direct, it's not a direct Slenderman story, but if you look at the creature, the operator in Marble Hornet's entries, it's heavily based off of Slenderman. There's a business suit, the red tie. It's tall, faceless. You can't go around and saying that this is completely not the Slender Man because it's just too close. It's just too close to not call it Slender Man. Now, with the Marble Hornet series, the idea of proxies was entered into the mythos of the Slender Man. Along with that, he causes disturbances with electronics. That they introduced that concept to the mythos as well. And unfortunately, these girls were influenced by that. They wanted to become proxies. And there is a ritual in which I do believe where they claim that if you go out into the woods at midnight and you stand out there, close your eyes, and wait for the Slender Man to come. I can't remember if there's anything else you're supposed to do, but you're supposed to close your eyes. You're supposed to go out into the woods and wait for the Slender Man to arrive, and he's supposed to evaluate you. And he will ask you questions, and you're supposed to answer him truthfully. And you cannot go out there unless you have a solid belief that you can contribute to him in some way. It's a strange ritual, and it has nothing to do with murder. These girls picked up the murder part, I don't know either.
I don't know either, but as we're on their origin stories here, apparently there are a few precursors of the Slenderman, which was one from a video game, which is titled an amateur adventure game titled Keys of Mythos. It's published by Ben Yazzie Crawshaw in 2003.
Ben,
The main
well,
villain,
hold on. What was that name?
Ben Yazzie Crawshaw.
Isn't that the host of isn't that the host of Zero Punctuation?
Yep, zero punctuation. There he is. Yep, yep. Yes, he's an online video game journalist. There he is. Yeah, zero punctuation. Evolution of Man. Fully ramblomatic. That's it. And that's what all his works did. But the real one here I got me interested is actually from a German folklore legend called Der Grossman. It's German for the great man and is often translated in creepypastas as a tall man. It is rumored to be a German folklore concerning a tall boogeyman in existence in the 16th century, which was introduced to the mythos as an in-game point of origin of the creature.
Yeah.
It actually was, yeah. So, there we go. It was first used in Slenderman Road series called Tribe 12 and has been reused in many creepypastas. So the game basically took this creation and gave him his own backstory apparently.
Wow, that's some facts I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
What hand in this did Yahtzee have again?
Yahtzee created creation of Slenderman may have also been inspired an ongoing series of amateur adventure games titled Chisel Mythos. I can't pronounce that name. It's CHZO.
Uh-huh.
And it was published by Yahtzee.
I will have to.
And in the yep, in the games, one of the main villains is called Kabadath, and is sometimes referred to as the Tall Man, making his first in-game appearance in Tribli's Notes. The character was portrayed by the third installment as a tall, thin, just man in a long, black, high-colored coat, with tails that reach to the floor and having a blank face. Throughout the adventures, the Tall Man can be seen stalking and trying to kill the main character. So there you go, you probably got the killing thing from that game.
I will have to look this up because I watch Yahtzee. I watch Zero Punctuation. I do like that show.
A Schwarzwald, yeah, it's a black forest in Germany. It's an actual place in Germany where the creature is said to have first appeared. And their Ritter, the Knight, based on the several 16th century woodcuts by Hans Freckenberg that featured a strange figure dueling another man. On March 17, 2011, Encyclopedia Sundaria published a post revealing that the original woodcut of their Ritter did not show additional limbs. So apparently there's some encyclopedia out there called Sundaria.
Now, I remember while doing my research that I did run across that article that you just mentioned right now, but there was also I ran across some strange carvings in which there was a skeletal-like figure with tentacles and extra appendages taking children from homes. That was just really awkward, but I didn't know how to incorporate that into the show, so I didn't write it into the scripts.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting to know. It's kind of like the Boogeyman. I know there's another one out there for based on that one German legend. This is a real thing. German legend of I can't remember the creature's name. Apparently, it takes my bad children during Christmas. I can't remember its name though.
Krampus. Krampus.
The Krampus. That's it. Yeah.
Now, going back to things that were left out of the episode, there were similar cases that I wanted to explore, but due to time constraints and also I just plain forgot, and I plain didn't know another one. Um, During the research, I really wanted to focus the episode on the two major cases that we did see in the episode, which was the Peyton Leitner case and the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Now, there's a very loose connection to Slenderman and Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. But I did want to focus on it because in the episode, as y'all can see, it's a issue that I wanted to bring up because these people, and this is, mind you, this is happening in America, people. There are children between the ages of 12 and young adults as old as around 24 between those two age groups. A lot of them are attempting suicide, or a lot of them are talking about suicide, and they're going around encouraging suicide among their members, among their tribe, because there's all kinds of situations. Some people are blaming Slenderman. Some people are saying that it's a traditional Indian spirit, a suicide spirit called the Tall Man. And while honestly, I think it has a lot more to do with the living conditions that these people are in. No food, no clean water, no parents in the home because they're either intoxicated, in jail, or dead. And these kids are left with such a desperate situation in which they think their only option is suicide, and I definitely wanted to bring attention to this situation because again, this is happening in America.
You mentioned the Wisconsin stabbings, right?
Yes, the
Apparently,
Wisconsin.
a month later, on June 6th, another stabbing happened in Ohio, based in Cinnamon.
Yes, that was I believe by a 13-year-old.
Yeah, it was a 13-year-old daughter that stabbed their mother.
Yes, I knew about that case. I knew that case happened, but I forgot about it. That was the one case that I mentioned previously here in a few minutes ago that I forgot out of complete. I forgot it when I was going through the research on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. But yes, that case did pop up in my research, but I totally forgot about it when I went to go write the script.
But thankfully, this one was less as deadly as the one before.
Yeah.
The mother only suffered minor injuries, and the teenager is, of course, facing charges.
And
I don't know
also,
what's. Yeah, some people. I don't know. That. When I look at these stories, I always wonder what the hell were they thinking.
there was the also there was the Port Richley case in Florida in which a 14-year-old thought that she could appease Slenderman by setting her house to fire and trying to burn her mother and her 9-year-old brother alive.
Man,
That was a case that was left out due to time constraints. I discovered it shortly before we started to record the episode, but I already saw that the material that we had was probably going to exceed the 10-minute mark, and I decided at that time to not include it.
totally understandable.
And all these cases all happen within the same year and within a couple of months of each other. The Ohio stabbing, as Bro mentioned, and in Florida, this attempted burning. I'm not sure if there was any other further cases. These cases hit the radar very early, but then dropped off because I think it was because of the higher publicity of Geyser and the Weir case.
I can't think of anything else to add of how Slenderman became popular.
What really did it was the Slender game. When we originally aired it, I was not aware that there was two more games that dropped in between the first game and the time of our recording. I didn't know that these games were in existence when I finally made the final script and we started recording that script. There is Slender the Arrival, which is is it a I don't remember if it's direct sequel or a prequel to the Slender game, but it's in there. It's in that line. And then there's an indirect, unrelated game called Slenderman: The Nine Pages. As for
Yeah,
Mythos, what do we have in the works? What was our next episode you wanted to work on?
I believe it's the corpse scandals, also known as will-o-wisps and everything.
We have I'm still researching. We will do episodes on hopefully the Loch Ness Monster, the Jersey Devil, Mothman. I had a suggestion by Leon that we should do the Michigan Dogman.
Michigan Dogman, that'd be an interesting one, so I think that actually extends out to my state too.
Yeah, I believe so.
That would be an interesting one. I can't think. It's known as a Dogman. The Walrus Dogman, I think. Wait, should we see here? I'm kind of curious now. I found the name of the one thing in Wisconsin that's related to the Dogman. It's known as the Beast of Bray Road.
Yeah,
Yeah, 1936 in World War outside Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Where the hell's Elkhorn? Oh shit!
Elkhorn?
That's in Walworth. Holy crap! Yeah, that's the
Elkhorn?
county that borders the Elkhorn, Wisconsin's in Walworth County, which is the county that borders west of my county.
Bro, Elkhorn is usually located on the Elk Skull.
Shit. There's a city in Wisconsin called Elkhorn, Wisconsin. That's in the middle of Walworth.
Yeah, that went right over his head, ladies and gentlemen.
I know what the fuck you're doing.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now, other things I would like to do with this series is I would like to do a series of kind of like a fact or fiction kind of thing in which we will introduce a couple of stories and we'll leave it up to you as to if you think that they're a real life event that did happen and was later turned into a urban legend or if it's complete fabrication. A couple of special episodes I would like to do every now and then. And
Kind of interesting.
yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. I'm also thinking about doing a bro mentioned a list. Go and do maybe we could do like something like the top 5 weird urban legends, weird deaths, something like that. I think
Yeah,
that would be
that's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, the weirdest things you've seen, the weirdest things in the sky, the weirdest happenings,
of
the
course.
weirdest weapons.
Yeah, because well, I don't know about weapons because it would have to be unless it's like related to urban legend, like yeah, the ice bullet. Have you ever heard of that urban legend?
I have not heard the ice bullet.
It was featured in CSI for back in the very early days. It was like one of the first seasons in which a killer crafts a bullet made out of frozen meat, and he fixes it. He chambers it in a casing, and he actually shoots somebody with it. And they can't figure it out how this person died because they can't find any metal or anything in the wounds. There was water on the floor, and later they figured it out that the guy made a frozen meat bullet and fired it. I think that would be a really interesting episode to go on with stuff like that. Oh yeah, of course we're gonna do cryptozoology. There is one cryptid I refuse to do. I refuse to do an episode on this one, and I don't know.
It's because he's overdone. I mean, it's
But
always the first one. It's always the first one someone goes to. It's always the first one they do. It's always the first one. It's like, I mean, people have seen it so many times. They know what he is. Bigfoot.
Yeah, I cringe at that one. I was originally also not gonna include the Loch Ness monster, but there's recent new theories on that I think are interesting, and I would like to visit. I would like to visit on that subject. But as far as Bigfoot goes, I it's just so overdone, and it's to me it's a boring legend. In itself, it's a boring legend, and I don't feel like going into it. But yeah, we will be researching these ideas. We'll be definitely working on scripts and getting more episodes out to you as soon as we can. That's one of our focuses is to keep our viewers interested, to keep our viewers entertained. That I think that's our biggest concern is keeping you entertained with what we do. And we really appreciate it if you give us a like, if you give us a subscribe, or if you even just share our link around. We would highly appreciate that. And with a deep thank you from me and the ROL Studios crew, thank you if you do that for us. Because that helps our
Also,
channel.
what I think about, maybe if one of the viewers wants to, suggest something we could look at, you can leave a comment too.
Yes, definitely. Comment below if you see if there's anything you want us to do. We'll look into it and we'll see about getting an episode of that subject out. Okay, I'll admit that the only way I will do a Bigfoot episode is if we get a huge a huge amount of requests to do such an episode. Then I would consider it, but otherwise, at this point, I don't want to do a Bigfoot episode. I just don't. We have ideas in the works, like Bro suggested. Leave a comment if there's something you want us to report on, something you want us to do a video on. Comment below. We'll definitely appreciate any comments that you have towards episode ideas. We will definitely take them all into consideration.
Even if it's not well known, we look into it. I mean, we all like learning something, right? Even about the stuff. Even if it's not a popular one, we probably look into it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a cryptid. It doesn't have to be a cryptid because you remember, this is Mythos. We're about mythology. We're about urban legends. We're about... Oh god, I just had a brain fart. Yay! Thumbs up for brain fart. We're about modern myths. We're about the mythos. We're about urban legends. We're about creepypastas gone wrong. Creepypastas that are believed in. Anything that people believe in, and it's on the internet or it's out there in the world going on by word of mouth, we want to know about it because we will be more than willing to see what we can do about writing an episode on these issues, writing an episode on these topics. Thanks for watching. This was a general discussion episode.
We hope to bring you more of this. If you have any ideas, just please leave a comment below and we'll look into them. I mean, we find this stuff pretty interesting.
Yeah, we love this stuff. This is something that we discuss on our off time, and the love of these topics, the love of these discussions that me and Bro have had in the past is what has helped create this series, and we want to keep up with that. We want to share our love for the strange, for the macabre, and the creepy stories out there in the world of modern mythology.
I've been your host, Kiro Sterna, and this has been my co-host, Ace Rags Brigilda.
Yo.
Thank you for watching.
Laters.